How much more longer do I have to endure watching this show? How much? How much? Uh, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but it was a interesting episode, let alone with what has happened. I'm going to be very honest, very open, hopefully, and not be as biased as I want to be. But I am very sorry for the words that I'm going to say for this whole video. How the fuck is fucking Kenzie in my fucking villa? Not even my villa, their villa. How the fuck is she in the villa? How has she not gone home? It's like we're giving the production's giving them the golden opportunities and we're not taking them. Oh my god, I want to stop watching the show and I can't because the fact that she's not out the villa yet. I'm such a hater. And again, okay. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, like for my past videos, it's just me been, low key like there's always a part where I talk about Kenzie where I'm just hating. But it's with valid reason again because um she should have been out the villa. Now, okay, let's just get into it real quick. I'm just gonna say this: we saw what happened. Recoupling and then a dumping for the two least compatible couples. That's fine. Who cares about? We can really care less. Cool. Let's just say this. Okay, let's cool. Sincere did the little date with the Melanie thing and all that. All cool and everything. Everyone's team sincere. All right, cool. We get that pass. That's probably the main thing we took out of that beginning part. Okay, let's move on. We have two couples that have to go home, and then one and a dumping as well from recoupling. So obviously, the obvious one was everyone was gonna pick everyone, same people, and then we had Jen and Amora as the last one. Gall had all the power. Jen already knew she was going home. Jen already knew she was going home. It didn't matter. Jen was going home because her and Gall didn't work out. And Jen was absolutely pissed because she was like, oh, so now the man has all the power and I have no choice because I know I'm going home already because of the fact that he's not going to pick me. And she was right. Mora got picked and Mora and Gall took a seat. Cool. Cameras cut and everything. Jen's going home. And again, I mean, I'm just going to say this. I don't think Jen really had a fair shot in Love Island. I don't think she really had much of a fair shot or choice or I guess whatever it was that was given to her this entire show, apart from Gabriel. I'm going to go back to this and I will say it. I think if Gabriel wasn't sent home that early, and again it's still controversial, I think Jen would probably still be in the villa. Let alone hoping that Gabriel is still with her, but I believe that that would have been a better it would have been a best case scenario for Jen. Jen will still be able to explore and build a connection with Gabriel, and they will still figure out like how to grow and how to become better with themselves and have a better relationship and a better connection. But since Gabriel went home, Jen almost at that point ran out of options because everyone was so closed off, and Jen wasn't really looking at anyone. If Jen did look at someone, Kenzie was always in the mix. And again, that's why I said, why is Kenzie in my villa? She's ruining other people's chances because she's always in the way. And again, not her fault. She's hooping and she's exploring, as people would say. Yeah, she's doing what the game is supposed to be. But again, the way she's doing it's not the right way, and she's not really being truthful. And as Kata would say, it's a bit giving sincere. It's not a bit. You're giving sincere. So again, I mean, it's tough to say, but it's simple as it is. But so Jen's going home. Cool. Now we have the next one up with the least two compatible couples. Everyone has to pick two. They all have two votes to say who's the least compatible, and they explain why. Same Love Island stuff. Blah blah blah. Um, everyone votes. Everyone pretty much voted for Amora and Gal. I think that was the obvious because it's not like they're more of a friendship than a connection. People would say, and it's since they just got paired up. People weren't going to give them the time of day anyways because it's so late. It's kind of considered like the Love Island playoffs at this point that we all saw that Amora and Gal aren't really gonna do much, and since they're gonna just now get into this couple now at the state and not really show any interest or connection anyways, you might as well just take them off, get rid of that one vote, and do it. The biggest problem was the second vote. Now this is when things get a little complicated because some people's reasons were great, some others were absolutely abysmal. The most I think the most like honest, realistic one was, I think everyone can kind of agree at some point was Corbin's and Parmita's. I think Parmita was just being a good friend to Melanie, like Melanie said. Parmita told her that she deserves better, and they believe that Melanie and Sincere should break off or should go home because of the fact that they should always break up. They should break apart. The relationship's too toxic, and no matter what, like even if she likes him and he likes her, she says that love is not always gonna be enough. But now you guys can disagree. My counter argument to that is love. If it's meant to be love, it will work out, and you will always come back. And if it's love, it's gonna happen. If you don't go back and if you don't find a way to make things work, it was never love in the first place. Now again, that can be in many situations and different scenarios. And okay, my PC wants to go off again. We do it. This is the casual thing we do every episode, every video here. It's my PC has to go off at least once. Hopefully not twice. But I believe that it's simple. Love is, you keep trying and you keep fighting for it. If you really love someone, you're gonna do anything for that person to make sure they're happy and that you're happy and that the relationship or the connection is, the best it can be. So that is my counter argument to Parmita. That she's like, oh, just love and liking someone and doing this is it's not always it's not enough always. But let alone that could be enough because love is as important as you can hate each other. But if you love each other, that breaks almost anything. Love is stronger than more than anything else in the world. That's why people say love is stronger than hate. Love is stronger than disliking someone. Love is stronger than this and that. Like that's all important. So we had to remember that. That is my counter argument to that. So I get it. I know Sincere's and Melanie's relationship is toxic, but they are very. They're very. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, they're very toxic. But in other words, it's like they needed to restart because that breakfast, that breakfast again was like it made me happy and it made I feel like it made probably I don't know if other people saw it, but it made me happy just to realize that sometimes it's good to reset. Melanie had a little smile on her face, and Sierra was happy, but it felt like they had to restart to get to know each other. Like they had to like really like go back to 101. And them having that moment of breakfast felt good because they had breakfast for the first time together, and it was like a little date, but it was like them just like meeting each other for the first time. And I feel like that's what they need to like continue things to build a better foundation. Like Sincere said, his foundation is a bunch of straws right now, so it should be brick by brick. They say day by day, as Corbin would say. So apart from that, that's my kind of counter argument to what Parmia was saying. How Sincere and Melanie are doing. Corbin said he felt betrayed by Sincere. Now that is a very honest man. That is a very honest man, and I know people don't like Corbin because of how he is in the villa and how he is, and not I already said that, or like just how he acts. But he just doesn't care. He has a mentality. He doesn't give a fuck. It looks like, and he's doing it for himself, of course, which is what you want to do in a villa. And he found a great connection. They're closed off, so they're doing really well. And I mean, what Corbin said wasn't entirely wrong. Um, Sincere really messed up. He hasn't been telling full truths, and at the end of the day, he has to own up to what his actions were. So again, what Corbin Parmita said was very true and very right, and they, Sincere and Melanie all they had to say was understandable. They had to agree. It's not like there's anything wrong. They had to agree, but they were not the couple to get dumped. They were not the couple to get dumped. They did get 2 votes, but they didn't get dumped. I thought there was gonna be a tie, but there wasn't. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Um, we got Kenzie and Dylan. Now this is the couple I thought that should have gotten booted. All for the the right reasons. What I didn't understand was when Melanie explained why Kenzie and Dylan should get knocked off, and Kenzie got upset at that. Kenzie got upset, like Melanie voting her to go home, and Kata even was surprised as well. Like I don't like how they all got confused, but like that's the thing I don't understand. She got very confused. Like like okay, Kayla looked at it like, oh my god, like Melanie voted Kenzie, why? Melanie explained again, like, hey, pretty much, hey, you're messing around with 4 guys, you're fucking up, and you hurt Dylan. Like, let's be honest here, that's already enough for us to is that relationship even gonna be real? And then Kenzie's like, she disagrees and all that and everything, but when now don't get me wrong, I could be completely wrong on this. I kind of forgot who the couple was as to vote. the other person to vote Kenzie and him. Uh, was it Casey and Tierra? I hope so. If not, please tell me I'm wrong. Please, I don't remember. I finished watching the episode a while ago, and I'm trying to remember everything. But another couple said, the same thing, but she didn't get upset. She was like, you know, it's understandable. And oh wait, was it Caleb and Jaden? It's fine. Well, you guys will. Hopefully you guys will tell me. I might be completely wrong. I might have to recap on that and maybe edit that. But I might be lazy. I'm not gonna lie. But let's just say it was one of the couples. One of the couples did say it. Kenzie didn't get upset. She got mad at Melanie for saying it. But when someone else said it, she was like, "Oh, it's understandable. Like, I understand. Like, I don't want to make Dylan feel bad anymore." But again, Kenzie should have been one going home today. They had another shot to for Kenzie to go home. But again, this isn't like apparently these guys really think it's Friendship Island. It's not. Ariana literally said, friendships are cool and all, but this is Love Island. This is about finding love, and this is about you. It's not about you making friendships. It's not about you creating new bonds and all that for after. No, this is for you to, find a connection, find the love of your life, as they say in the show. So, but again, Friendship Island wins again, and Kayla and Zach had a choice to vote, and they decided to vote for Caleb and Jaden. They did not decide to vote for Kenzie and Dylan because they believe after one argument, sorry, I have to get that off my chest. After one argument, Jaden and Caleb get eliminated. I am sorry. I didn't know having one argument just gets you kicked off the villa. Now, again, if we realized that that kind of reminded me that Melanie did say that Kenzie was like kind of like playing it safe by picking Dylan because after movie night she realized that that's what I was trying to okay, Melanie's reasoning was mainly because she thinks that Kenzie's playing it safe by picking Dylan because after movie night when she got criticized and pretty much like not attacked, but just pretty much, everyone's on her about doing what she did. She was like, she had to pick Dylan and just keep Dylan as a safe option. And she's not entirely wrong. I mean, again, Doll's not going to go after her, and no one else wants her after they saw that. So, again, choosing Dylan is the safe option to keep connection. So, but that's fine. Cool. Whatever. Move on. I think Kenzie should have been out. But um, Jaden and Caleb had one argument, and Jaden wanted to talk about it with Caleb, and they made up, and they did good about it. They talked about it, they expressed actions for it, and they did what any other normal couple would do in a villa or any other couple would do in real life. Talk it over, talk about a compromise, make sure, you guys have your boundaries set, and, hopefully you guys can build off that and, do better next time. That's what they did. And they get kicked off. They get kicked off the villa after one argument. Sorry. After one argument. I don't like I it makes that's why I feel like it doesn't make me I really don't want to watch the show anymore, but to be honest, the content I'm doing right now is based off Love Island, so I can't complain. So I'm really happy. And I'm happy doing these type of videos. But again, Jaden and Caleb should not have gotten kicked off. I don't I thought they were one of the bottom three to get kicked off for sure, but I was really thinking they were like in like the third bottom spot. I thought they were in the third bottom spot, and I thought Kenzie was bottom two, and then Amora and Gal were number one to go home. Amora and Gal literally were gonna go home after like the fifth or sixth couple voted. They were automatically like number wise like going home, but Jade and Caleb getting voted off because of one argument. Literally everyone said, "Oh, they had a bumpy rocky road." There was no bumpy rocky road. They did good in Casa, unless we completely missed something. That's again on maybe production for not putting the clips in if they had a rocky road there. And in the villa, it didn't really show they had like anything wrong apart from that one argument. Again, they didn't really show us too much of them. They didn't get much screen time. So how are we supposed to know that they did, they did something wrong? And again, Caleb went to people to talk about it to get some advice. Jaden gets mad for it, and then they talk it over, and they did good. That's fine. That's what a relationship does. But again, they both can talk, to other people like like their friends and that to get advice in that. But I don't. I think since they did that, it gave everyone the idea like, okay, they're not good. I think if Caleb didn't say anything, I think if Caleb just if he would have kept it to himself and then just have a conversation with Jaden about it, they would have been fine. I don't think they would have gone home then. But since he expressed it and Jaden was talking about it as well a bit, looking at them saying like, "Oh, he's 2 feet away and he's talking about me and this and that." I think that cost them to go home. But again, Caleb had a really good a really good way of going out. He said, obviously he was like, but if I was able to come back to the villa, but at the expense of other people leaving, I would have done that. That's such a sweet answer from Caleb. That's amazing, man. Like, I'm sorry, that's so good of you. They're pure hearts of Caleb and Jaiden. Amora and Gal, nothing. You guys did your thing. Amora got brought back for nothing really. She only really got brought back for the fact that maybe to like have some sort of like maybe like some conversation or some chaos with Sincere and Melanie, but she wasn't gonna do that. She was mainly just brought back just for movie night, just so she can kind of have her side. And to be honest, America did vote for either Amora or Sydney. And oh, we got a second PC going down. We're going for let's go for number three. Let's go for number three. But in all seriousness, um, if Sydney would have got voted back in, it wouldn't have mattered really. It really wouldn't have because Sydney wouldn't have done anything. I think as well. I don't think the Casa girl getting voted back in made sense. I think the Casa boy getting voted back made sense because all of them had somewhat of a connection with another girl that could have made things interesting. Carl with Anaya, Corey with Melanie, Che and Ronnie with Kada and Jen. Like again, like for example, you bring Ronnie back, Jen might have a chance. You bring Che back, it gives an idea of like Zach, you gotta be on your toes because Kada is good to go. Um, and Carl, of course, with Anaya. Carl a couple with Anaya tonight, the past night, and Corey with the Melanie and Sincere. Like that, that all makes sense. But to bring a Casa girl back, I'm not saying it's not their fault. It really isn't because we're at the stage where like almost everyone's like closed off, but they haven't announced it, but they're all closed off really. And it's Friendship Island. They're not gonna want them to come in to ruin and disrupt the friendship they all got. So that's also another thing. Um, but overall, I think the episode was good. I'm sad to see Jada and Caleb go. That's when you kind of would like to not express too much because like they said they're like Caleb is so young, he was 21, they're like he kind of goes straight to conclusions with, for example, when Corbin and Kenzie were at the dock and he was like, oh, I think they kissed. He kind of jumps a little too much. Okay, cool, yeah, he, like you guys just said, he's young, so give him some slack. He's not trying. Caleb has not had any bad intentions at all. He really doesn't. And it's not, I'm not gonna blame him entirely. He just really wanted some help because he wants to make sure the connection is good. But after one argument, you guys are really gonna vote him because he expressed y'all that he needed some help and that his connection was kind of having a bit of a moment, like a tense moment. Just help him. But getting rid of him, it just shows its friendship. It really does. Just shows its friendship island. It really does. I mean, that's really like I mean, no, that's gonna be the title of this video. Is Friendship Island, like simply because Kaden and Zach had the chance to get rid of Kenzie, and we all know Kenzie should have went home because why why is Caleb a pure soul going home, and why is Jaden, who actually really wants to try her best with Caleb and is doing well, why do they get to go home? But with Dylan, he's getting played every night pretty much at this point until now, and Kenzie's just having a field day, and she's getting away scot free, and she messed with like 4 or 5 guys, and now she's good. Like now she's generally off the clear now because now the next dumping, if Sincere doesn't lock in, Sincere and Melanie will be the ones going home because I don't think anyone else would gonna want to go home because they're gonna probably just put it on them. I don't think a nine would. I don't think a nine and Carl will go home. I don't think TT and Casey will go home. Bryson and Shitty are boyfriend and girlfriend. They're the couple. They're the it couple, so they're not going home at all. I think they're probably gonna be the front runners to win. And Zach and Kata, not really either. Like people will probably pick all of them over Melanie and Sincere. So it's all about Kenzie and Dylan or Melanie and Sincere to go home. So I believe that. I mean, I think you should pick Kenzie and Dylan, but with Friendship Island, it's like it's tough because everyone's gonna go back to that reason of like, oh, if Sincere doesn't make things up and he doesn't clean up the mess he made, then it's just gonna be, they're gonna call it toxic, they're gonna call it, oh, you guys are not fixing it at all. Sincere's still doing the same thing, and Melanie's not your fault, but you have to just go home with him because you guys are a couple. I feel like that's gonna be the next dumping if they don't do anything about it. No, at the end of the day, is another video of me saying Kenzie should have been dumped and out the island. I don't know if anyone agrees with that. If you disagree, I understand. Do you guys have your reasoning? Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I mean, I want to hear your guys' thoughts again. Just it's a tough moment in the villa because again, it sucks. Caleb had to go home. It really does because everyone really likes Caleb. It's not his fault again. It's not him and Jay's fault. Kind of is because they expressed it, but at the same time, it's not their fault that friendships are just apparently bigger than the actual picture of what the show's really about to find love. But everyone's after that 100K. Everyone's out there apparently about looking for the love of their life, but we'll see what happens at the end of the season. So we got a few more episodes to go, and yeah, let me know in the comments down below, guys. If you guys want to continue seeing this content, I'm gonna keep probably doing it anyways until the season's over. I'm trying my best to make sure I get as much out as possible. But if you guys appreciate this, leave a like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok. Inside the field. I think it says Inside the Field PC, so Inside the Field podcast. Obviously subscribe here on YouTube. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Kenzie should have left? Do you think Jade and Caleb were deserved to go home, or do you think another couple should have went home tonight with Amora and Gal? Let me know. Tell me which two couples you think should actually went home tonight in the comments. And I'm excited to hear that. So hope you guys have a great night. Hope you guys have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.